Hi guys, 9 months. Quite a while since the last time I actually uploaded a video. It's something that I didn't want to do. Of course, I want to keep updating every single week. Things have happened since then, a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of excuses for me not to do it. But regardless, I'm just gonna go straight into it. So the last time I uploaded a video that I shared with you guys is regarding how it was while during my pregnancy. Now there was a couple of things that popped in my head during the video, even after I uploaded the video, that I was like, damn, I should have mentioned this, I should have mentioned that. But so this time I ended up writing everything down. So that way, if anything like came up as I was writing it down, I will of course make sure to bring it back up. But of course, when it comes to any kind of conversation, you replay it in your head and you're like, dang it, I still forgot something. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do step by step regarding my experience while giving birth to Zoe. So if anybody doesn't know, I am mom. If my introductory video is pretty much explaining what these videos are all about, and again, it's just me sharing with any future to be mothers for the first time, or current mothers, or for different circumstances, because of course every child is completely different. So this is again me sharing my experiences, what I went through. It has nothing to do with anybody telling me that I should say this or anything regarding that, and any kind of products or circumstances that I bring up that I use personally. Again, it's something that I used on my own. Nobody else influenced me to use them. Well, not like they told me about it and I decided to do it my own. So again, this is just me as a mom, first time mothers. I'm a first time mom with Zoe, and this is again regarding my experience as Zoe's mom. Okay, so here we go. So the delivery, as you all may know, everybody's different. It could be easy, it could be hard, it could be like you're in the same day, you're out the same day, so everybody's different. Now this circumstances from this last video I did mention is that I was having issues opening up. So my cervix was not opening at all. I did go to doctor visits once a month, and then after the last 3 months was twice a month. Just they were checking on me, and eventually they're like, you know what, you're not open enough. So again, I emphasized from the last video, walk. Now here's another thing that that one of my cousins actually happened, and has been said, I'm sure you guys heard of it, to have sex if you are, you know, if you're not opened enough, or the water bag has not popped for any reason, they suggest to have sex. Now my husband and I did try that to help me, but it only helped just slightly. So from zero, like from half a centimeter to literally 1.5, that's all it did. So it didn't help that much. So my last appointment, they actually scheduled me, and I looked online, it's called a Foley bulb induction. So what they do is that they actually put this bulb, that's like a plastic bulb, into your cervix for it to expand. Now it is painful. It is painful at that time. And so how it worked is that the last time I spoke to them was on a Friday, and they scheduled for that the following week, which was on a Monday. So that Monday, I ended up going in with my mom and my husband before they could put the bulb. Now that week, my mom requested it to be with me at the hospital, so we were already hoping for Zoe to be born that week. So we ended up going into it wasn't an office and it wasn't an operating room. It was just literally like a room where there's several chairs for everybody to be sitting down. I guess everybody was scheduled, you know, whoever scheduled to put this bulb. So they ended up sitting me down, checking my my heart rate, of course the baby's heart rate, and eventually started like to check everything. And then after, if they see everything's good, everything's calm, they send me into another room, and that's where they decide just to put the bulb in. Now it's it did hurt a little bit, but then it felt like, okay, everything feels fine. So then after that, they went back to the chair to monitor me and monitor Zoe, and then they ended up saying, oh, you're having contractions. And I'm like, I don't feel anything. And they're like, yeah, you're having contractions. And I'm like, well, it just feels like little regular little cramps, but it wasn't painful cramps. It was just like that feeling. Women know. But it was just like a little pulsing kind of feeling, but not like a pain or anything. So I thought, they were painful, but I guess not. And then eventually they said, just let it be, it'll fall on its own. When it falls on its own, that means you opened up to 4 centimeters, which is the goal for the bulb. So I went home. It was 1 o'clock my appointment, like around 4 or 5. It just slipped out when I used the restroom. So I was like, oh, okay. Very easy. No pain. Everything is fine. Everything's working. Okay, I'm 4 centimeters now. Yay. Because the following days I was scheduled just to be induced to labor. And that was pretty much it. I was like, okay, so I'll just feel the labor tomorrow. So that was the balloon placing the bulb. So the next day, Tuesday at 5 a.m., I was scheduled to go into a room to be induced and to welcome Zoe. So again, my mom and my husband went with me. We went into literally an entry to, like you say, like an appointment room, like a doctor's room, appointment room, sorry. And there's this window, so nobody was there. There was another couple waiting. I went inside only with my mom, because it was only one person at a time, because it was just to start me up, because apparently that day many babies decided to come in. So those women were, of course, priority, because of course they're already in labor, so of course they go in first. A fly just went by, that's why I went like that. And when I went in there, it was just like a room with a bed, like those hospital beds. And then I was waiting for a while for somebody to see me, because of course everybody's busy because of the babies. And then they checked me and they say I'm still 1.5. The balloon didn't work, or technically the person didn't place it right, which I later realized when they decided to put the bulb again. Big difference regarding the experience. Right then, right away, I felt the excruciating pain. Like, it was really hard to explain, but it's like this tremendous pressure, which I'm sure it is, because they're pressing pressure around your cervix for it could open up. Sorry, people, it's getting gruesome. So when I had the balloon placed and it was opening up, literally I felt this pressure, and I couldn't even think. I couldn't even, like, what the heck? I don't even know what to grab onto, where to stand, where to sit. It was just, I couldn't. I was just like literally slightly bending over, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I couldn't take it. But at that time, that's when they decided to put in the IV to get me ready. They started putting me pain medication, and they ended up putting me the liquid to induce my labor. Now, okay, so from what I wrote down from last time, they ended up putting me oxytocin, which is what they use usually to induce labor. Now, they were monitoring me the whole time. They were checking me, they were checking the baby, they checked how many times I was having the contractions, just to make sure, monitoring, of course, everything's going well. Now, after that, I was completely literally just waiting to get my own room by myself. That way I could deliver the baby. Now, before I get ahead to going into the room, just to let you know, what I brought with me was something that I read online. They ended up suggesting bringing a gown, bringing comfortable shoes, bringing this, bringing that. So there's going to be many different websites, many different things, of list of items that you need to bring with you. But ultimately, you don't use all of it. And I will explain later why. So after finally I ended up being a room being available, they ended up, sorry, I'm moving the camera up. After finally being sent to another room, I literally at that point, I barely remember being taken to that room, because I was in so much pain. The nurse was very kind to me, but very like the minute she placed the bulb, she wasn't like, how can I say this? She wasn't rough, but at the same time, she wasn't easy. She was just being, we gotta do this, we have to do this, and she did. And the way she was talking to me was very like, come on, you have to do this, you have to do this, you know what I mean? And when she was telling me to breathe, she's like, you have to breathe, and it actually calmed me, and it helped. The breathing helped me, because I feel some people are like, no, it doesn't work for me, or it didn't work for me. Maybe it worked for me because it made me concentrate in my breathing more than in the pain. So of course it still hurt, but not as much, because I was concentrating in my breathing. So that's what I was doing, and it helped a lot. I was like, that's what I was doing the whole time. So I remember after I was sent into the room, that part I don't remember if I was placed onto the bed or I myself went into the other bed. I don't remember. I think it was just the same bed that I was in earlier. They just placed it in that room. So that whole time that I was in that room, I was literally just in and out. I slept through most of it, because I guess the pain medication helped and made me sleep. That also because I was sleepy, because I didn't sleep that much, because I was more concerned about getting ready for the day before. I mean, the day of. And I didn't sleep as much, so maybe that's the reason, because the combination of the pain medication and that I was sleepy, I was tired, so I ended up going in and out of consciousness or sleep. Not 100% sure. Anyway, so yeah, I was in and out, in and out. Now, during that time, I do remember that everybody was coming in and out. I remember my husband, my mom, my cousin, my dad, my brother, my sisters. I would wake up in and out, and they were in. I remember my cousin was in for a bit because she had to go to work, but I don't know how long she was there. I don't know if she was there 10 minutes or an hour. I don't remember. And the nurses and the midwives, they were so kind to me. They were so kind. I should have wrote their name down or something, because they were amazing. They were so amazing to me. They were so kind, and I honestly miss them because they were so kind to me when I was there. So everybody was caring for me, and then eventually that afternoon, around 5 and 6 p.m., I finally opened up to 4 centimeters. So at that point, the whole time, from 6 a.m. till 5 or 6, pretty much 12 hours, the bulb was finally like able to be removed. The nurse was actually able to like already pull it out very easily without any problems, and that's when they popped Zoe's water bag, her home, temporary home, and when they popped it, they ended up going inside the bag to put a monitor on her head. They ended up putting a monitor around this side, and I'll tell you how I know that later, to check her vitals, to check if she's going to be okay, because again, they're still waiting for me to open up to 10 centimeters. So, and I'm barely at 4, and they have to open the bag to make my labor go much faster. So they ended up popping it, and they're checking our vitals, and I was a little bit worried for Zoe, because you know, water eventually goes down like a fish. You know, a fish is, you know, in the water, and eventually they get out and they need more water. So I was a little bit concerned. So during that time, we're still waiting for 10 centimeters, and eventually that water, like I said, starts going out. Eventually, like a fish, they end up looking for the water. So guess where Zoe decides to go? Upward. So I'm starting to feel her by my ribs. She's poking my ribs so bad, which I've never felt it during the pregnancy. She ended up going all the way up, and I kept her pushing her down and down and down. I even told my husband, help me, because she's trying to go up because she's running out of water. Even to the point that my mom ended up telling that, like, because the doctor came in asking how am I doing, checking on me regarding my size, the opening, and everything like that. And this was the same day. And my mom was concerned. Hey, what about Zoe? Zoe, you know, the water, they already popped it and she's not opening. What are you guys just still waiting for? So my mom was concerned because Zoe, of course, she's going upward because she's not not happy or not comfortable with the situation where she's at right now. So the doctor said she is fine. That's why we have a monitor on her. If for any reason Zoe ends up having, you know, anything going on, then we'll go in there quickly. But right now we want to make less trauma towards the mom and the baby. So because the C-section is a trauma for the body for me, of course, and so that's something that they want to avoid at all costs. So they would just want to give it out enough time to hopefully me open up to 10 centimeters. So they ended up asking me during that time if am I gonna want an epidural after all. They're like, are you sure you want to do it? And I'm like, yeah, I think so, because of the pain. Like I said, I was in and out the whole entire time. So they ended up giving me the epidural. Now, the needle in the back. Now, here's the thing. Maybe because I was very, very highly medicated, I didn't feel it in the back. But I do remember I ended up having to sit with my feet down on the side of the bed. They made my husband, I remember she's all like, the nurse was telling my husband, get in there, you gotta help her. I remember my husband was right in front of me, sitting in a chair in front of me, holding my hands. And then the surgeon who's putting the epidural behind me was telling me to breathe, you're doing a great job. And then I see my husband, and he's like almost making me laugh. And I'm like, no, don't look at him anymore, don't look at him anymore, because he's gonna make me laugh, and I can't move, you know, something like very delicate. I can't move, I have to keep still. Excuse me. Woo. Sorry about that. Again, keep still. And then I guess the needle went in, everything. I just felt a cold because the medicine ended up starting to go in. But that's all I felt. I didn't feel the needle. I didn't feel anything, just like a pressure. And then like something, then I guess the needle going in, but no pain. And then I felt the cold, which is the medicine that was going through my body. And at that point, I felt everything, my legs. But once after the epidural started kicking in, I started feeling numb in my legs. But yeah, the epidural was pretty good. I didn't feel anything either that. And also, my surgeon has wonderful hands because I didn't feel anything. So that was Tuesday night. That was like way later, like maybe like around 8 or 9. Late, actually. It was like around 9 or 10. It was after visitors because I think my mom left so my husband could stay. She had to, get, shower and all that stuff. And then, yeah, I was still not open, and now we go into Wednesday. So at Wednesday, like around 10, earlier. It was like around 7 or 8 a.m. They ended up coming in and checking on me regarding the measurements, how open I am. And regarding the measurements, it was still like 6 or 7 at that point. They said they're gonna keep on looking. The progress is not going any faster. And again, they also got concerned regarding Zoe's water bag getting less and less. So we don't want to risk that. Well, they didn't want to risk it, and of course I appreciate that. And they said they're gonna come back because of course they need operating rooms and all that, just in case they do have to go into C-section. So they came back like around 11 a.m. They checked. I was still at 7, didn't move, nothing at all. So they're like, you know what, we're gonna have to do C-section. And sure enough, like around 12 or so, they ended up coming back for me again. I'm just measuring time from what I remember, because I was in and out the whole time. So when I woke up after that, when they say we're going to come back and check and have the room ready and all that, when I woke up, I remember my husband was putting on the scrubs on over to cover himself. They ended up getting around me, around the bed, and, putting the arms down or whatever the case may be to transport me to the other room. And I remember they made me drink this liquid, which I don't remember, and I tried looking online what's it called before I went into surgery. I remember throwing it up. I do remember that. I remember I threw it up, and I believe they gave me another one. That part I don't remember, if they gave me another one or not to drink it. So yeah, and let me see what else. I forget. Okay. And then they already were taking me to the other room, to the surgical room, sorry. And I remember they were telling my husband to wait in a room, a waiting room, and they were gonna call him last minute, before they take out Zoe. So I ended up going to, they took me to the surgical room. They wanted me to jump on the surgical bed. I remember that I couldn't move my right leg, but I was able to help a little bit with my left. They're like, can you jump over? And I said, I can with my left, but I can't feel my right. I can't move it. So they ended up having asked somebody to come over and help me, get on the bed. So they saw, okay, she has the epidural. She already been taking this, and I remember they were talking amongst each other. And then they ended up connecting something to the IV because I blacked out again right after that. And the next thing I remember, the sheet covering in front of me, then my husband coming in, sitting right next to me, and then the next thing I know, I hear them say, she's coming, Zoe's coming. And then she's out. I don't hear anything. And then, because I was in and out even in that time, and then I see her on the right. I see her. A doctor or nurse is carrying her. And she's crying. I don't know if they smacked her in the booty for she could wake up or cry or whatever, but I remember her right there. I guess it made her, like, from far away though, and they showed her like, hey, look over here. It's your baby. And then after that, I blanked out. I don't remember. I don't remember after that. I blanked out again. What my husband told me is that when he looked at me, so like, hey, look at our baby, he said he saw my eye, those things, go to the back of my head, and he ended up like, something's wrong with her. And apparently they ended up having to put some drugs inside me because apparently they couldn't feel my vitals, or my pressure was going down or something like that. They thought they were going to lose me, or they were, I don't know. But at that point, yeah, that's what happened. So because I don't remember after seeing her, I don't remember. And also, so what they ended up happening is that they had to literally put their arm inside me to pull out Zoe, because she was literally all the way up here. Remember when I was telling you guys that she ended up going upward because of the water? Nope. Well, she ended up staying, got very comfortable. She didn't want to come out. They literally had to go in there and pull her out. And then, so after the whole surgery happened, I remember I guess we're in a waiting room waiting for me to wake up, and I see my husband holding Zoe with no shirt on, of course, skin to skin contact, a blanket over his shoulders, and she's right there. And I'm like groggy, and I'm like, should I move, shouldn't I move? And I guess they realize I'm awake, and they take me away to my room with my baby in my arms, and they make us push like a little button, and they took a picture of us. So yeah. That was my experiences in delivering Zoe. This video has been going on for 20 plus minutes or so. So if you guys happen to have any questions whatsoever about my experience in giving birth, you're more than welcome to ask. I do have an email address if you guys want to email instead, or you guys could put it down in the comments, whatever you like to do. I am more happy to answer them. Also, just don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. I am going to record another video, if not later on today, for sure tomorrow. But for sure, because I really want to get these back to back to back. And so please don't forget to subscribe. Make sure to subscribe. And you're more than welcome to email me or place in the comments below regarding any questions or comments or anything you want to share with the group. That'll be great. Now, I did create a Facebook page and an Instagram regarding Zoe. That's still in the works. I made the pages already, but I want to make sure there's some content before I start sharing it through YouTube. So make sure to subscribe to get notified, and again, everything down below is in the description of my email address if you have any questions you want to share directly to me. And of course, anything that you do ask, I will share in the next video, but of course I will not mention you by name if you don't want me to. And that, see you guys next time. Well, you'll see me next time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day, guys.